I was browsing around eBay again, looking for tech bargains and old hardware, old PCs, that sort of thing, and I came across this interesting MacBook Pro that was a late 2013 Retina model. It's a Core i5 2.4 GHz with 8 GB of RAM. This is the 13-inch size model. And it appeared to me to be the cheapest one that I could find on eBay. I got it for £62, round about $75, and it was the only Retina model that wasn't in pieces, basically, in some form or another. Screen not working, cracked screen broken in some way. So this was a fully working MacBook Pro, and I've only paid around about £60 for it. So, and the guy said that it basically all works. It is ready to go as they've reset it, and it has reasonable battery life. He said it lasted for over an hour. Of course, this is quite an old machine. We're talking 2013, so obviously quite a while back now. It's getting over a decade, isn't it now? 12 years. So yeah, and yeah, now that I do have a Mac, I've had Macs for quite a while now. For over a decade I've been using Macs. I had one of these back in the day, and it certainly didn't cost £62. So the fact that you can pick this up on eBay now for £62, and I just I do love Macs. They just seem really reliable and long lasting, and I'm not surprised that one of these is still around. Really, you're going to see that this machine is still pretty capable and can be used for I think definitely for if you're just buying something to do kind of university work or school work, or kind of browsing the internet or doing any kind of lightweight tasks. I'm sure this thing could also do video editing and that kind of thing. It's obviously not going to compete with the silicon Macs that are out now, or even the later Intel Macs, but it's still pretty capable and comes with some reasonable specs. 8 GB of RAM is not bad even nowadays. So yeah, I thought we'd take a look at this and see if we can get some retro gaming up and going on it, because that's what I tend to do with everything I get my hands on. What kind of things can it play? Let's take a look and let's get this thing set up. Okay, right.
Drinking warm water before bed helps release fat while you sleep.
No.
Apparently, thousands of people are already doing this. And
no, they're not. Right, okay, so as you can see, everything's working. Yeah, so this is working as previous video I did. We can knock down the volume on that, and let's have a look at and see. So the highest quality was 1080p. Can I get the stats for nerds on here? So what are we doing? So you've got a few little drop frames there. So it's not perfect, but it is playing, and this is an old machine, but it's running pretty well. I mean, obviously you wouldn't notice these things, I don't think. Okay, so we're going to use an application for playing DOS games. This is called Boxer. Now this is a fork of the original Boxer. It's kind of like DOSBox, but wrapped in a kind of nice Apple kind of app style. And the original one got kind of abandoned and didn't go past the 32-bit era when the OS on these was still 32-bit. Now on OSs such as Big Sur, like the one that's running on here, we can only use 64-bit apps, so 32-bit has been dropped. But if we download Boxer 2.0, so I do want to allow that, we should be able to play DOS games. So that has now been... Right, so I want to open up a Finder window. What I tend to do is I tend to put that in the dock so that I've got my applications down here as well as here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag Boxer. This is a great thing about Mac as well. A lot of apps you just literally drag into there. So let's open this up. Okay, so yeah, so it won't let us open it because it will. There's also more things that were added later on that basically stop you from running unsigned apps. So I think if we just kind of double tap and then do open, it will open it. Yeah, so it lets you open it. So you gotta kind of do like right click or double. I'm using 2-finger tap, which is the kind of out of the box way on right. So on Mac OS, as opposed to Windows, where you might have like right click in this side. So it's asking us to make changes. So I just got to. Okay, basically, I've got to allow it control the computer. I think it's basically very similar to like when Windows pops up and says, you know, do you want to allow this app to run? So yeah, so now that's running, and basically now we've got to go and source a game for it. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we're going to get a game from a site called DOS Games Archive. If we do a search, that's dosgamesarchive.com. So if I do a search for Duke Nukem, oh no, Nukem 3D, press return. Okay, oh, hang on, I've done. Yeah, there's some cool sort of like shortcuts that will kind of. Right, so here we go. Right, let's do a search. So I don't think it's actually searched. Right, so yeah, that brings back the list. We want Duke Nukem 3D. Hopefully this is the full version of the game. I think it will be. Right, so I think we just want this one. So if we download that. So what's this then? So it did sort of suggest then that I will start the download, but it did sort of suggest that, you know, this isn't the full version of the game. So, but anyway, you can certainly find it if you have a look around on the internet, but I think this will be fine for our purposes. So, right, you import a new game so you open up Boxer, obviously, as we did earlier. You click on the import a new game, and then what we want to do is drag our box, download our folder, which has been automatically extracted. Right, so now I don't think it's you can skip the installer if it's already installed, and I believe this isn't an installer, so we can skip it, can import it, and then now we can launch the game. And I think what we want to run is it .bat? I would have thought it might be .bat. Let's try that. Yeah. I thought this would be cool though, because it's got a keyboard and it's got like it's got a mouse, as in a touchpad. I thought it'd be quite cool because you should be able to play this game. Right, and it is. So the volume's working. You can probably turn it up a bit. Right, so there we go. And obviously, what's great about this is it configures all the sound for you. You don't have to kind of set up a kind of retro PC to do this. So hang on a minute. Right, so I want to go full screen. And I think it was Alt Enter. Is it? No, it's not. Hang on. So Command click, I think, to get out of it, and then View. I want to kind of go full screen. Here we go. So it's Command F. Okay, let's take a look at Duke Nukem on this. This is running in Boxer, which is basically DOS box. Just control to get down through there. Yep, looking pretty good. Whoa, hang on. I've got the crosshairs on there, pretty cool. Right, I'll go and get some health because I think you managed to shoot me. Yeah. This is retro, isn't it? This is pretty good. Yeah, this is looking great. Right, so nothing down there. Oh no, we go down around here, don't we? Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, this is some really old school gaming now on this. Yeah, and you can use the keyboard. The keyboard's pretty easy to use. There we go, next some of his weapons. Yeah, this is looking really good. Really impressed with it. And yeah, amazing. Something firing at me? I imagine it's probably like an automated gun or something, is it? But yeah, this is great. This is absolutely great. Oh, what's that? Scary. What was in that door? It's a bit dodgy then. That looks like a massive hole to me. Oh. Oof. Yeah, this is quite a creepy game. Things just jump out at you. It's brilliant. What have we got going on in here? It's very creepy sounds and creepy, creepy monsters running around. I mean, yeah, not the highest res graphics, but pretty good. Come get some. What's this? Are these doors? No, don't think they are. No. Was it in through here? There we go. Got no ammo left there, unfortunately. Oh no, I've got no armor. I've got ammo. Guy sitting on the toilet. Brilliant. Now this is really cool. I mean, you know, this is brilliant. You know that when this, you know, that you can play this on such like an easy, small device. You know, I mean, imagine going back to the days when you had an old desktop PC, and you know, this is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, this is really cool. Right, let's see if we can get some sort of more demanding games up and running. Okay, so we're going to take a look at another kind of game. This is kind of like Windows games. Basically, this is MacSourcePorts.com, and they make kind of like Mac versions of popular games that have been kind of released open source, I think. So Half-Life is one of those. So let's take a look at that. Now I believe you've got to get I think you've got to get the game files for this, so I need to go off and find those. But yeah, I probably can't tell you where to get them, but I think if you buy the game, and if you've got it installed on a Windows PC, I think you can take the files and kind of you know, put them onto here, and then you've got the full picture kind of thing. So I don't think this works just as it is, so if I have a look, I don't think it does. If you downloaded, no, it has downloaded once, maybe twice. Right, here we go. So let's see what this does. Okay, so let's try opening this. Yeah, so we do need to get the games folder for this, so we need to find the game directory and install that. So right, so if you haven't already, make a file here. So how you would, so basically we've got to go to this folder. So I wonder if that already exists or not, so we can copy that, and then in Finder we can do go to folder, Command V, and then that folder exists here as a list, so we can see those folders. So I've got to go and find the Valve game for this, and then I should be able, yeah, so I've got to copy the Valve directory from an installation of Half-Life into here. So I have to go and find those files now, but you need to get them from your own game. I'm sure you can search around the internet to find them. Okay, I have got my Half-Life Valve folder and I've placed it in the place that the installation instructions said to place it. So let's now see if that runs, and it does look like Half-Life to me. So let's see, is there any game settings to set? So I've got everything set. Video, what's the video options? Guessing it's probably set up to use the best settings that we could get so far. So video modes, yeah, so it's set to like the maximum res that this can do in OpenGL. Are there any other options? No, just OpenGL, so it's not Vulkan. Don't think this has Vulkan anyway on Mac. So let's have a look. So let's see if we can start a new game. See what happens.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for
that
the
is looking
security
good.
and convenience of the Black Mesa Research
Graphics
Facility
on that
personnel.
is looking really good.
The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking good graphics for the time, I think. It's definitely looking nice and crisp on here. I don't know if that's something to do with the work that's been done to port it, but yeah, it is looking nice. Now, he says Mats can't play games, albeit retro games, but it's looking good, isn't it?
Hey, Mr. Freeman. I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files. Just one of those days, I guess. They were having some problems down in the test chamber, too, but I think that's all straightened out. They told me to make sure you headed down there as soon as you got into your hazard suit.
Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties? Someone has hidden my glasses again.
Okay, let's put the suit on. So the mouse like kind of is your view, so you got to use the trackpad to lift yourself up. Right, now I've got the suit on. So I think we can see that this game is just running really well. There doesn't seem to be any real stutters, any hiccups in the game. It's just running perfectly on this. I mean, don't think it would struggle with a game like this, but yeah, I mean, it's great, really. I mean, the controls aren't too difficult to get your head around as well. Once you kind of work out what you got to do to open doors or pick stuff up, it's working pretty well. I keep seeing the same people everywhere. I don't know what's going on. This isn't really a game that I played before. I don't remember playing this, so. But it's certainly a game everybody talks about.
We just sent the sample down to the test chamber.
We've boosted the anti-mass spectrometer to 105%. Bit of gamble, but we need the extra resolution.
The administrator is very concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample. I gather they went to some lengths to get it.
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
Okay, I guess I'm about to have a bad day. So, yeah.
What's going on with our equipment?
It wasn't meant to be in the first place.
Oh, it does look broken. Let's have a look on here. It's quite a cool game, isn't it? It's kind of a very old school PC game where you got to press buttons and do things. It's quite cool.
I'm afraid we'll be deviating a bit from standard analysis procedures today, Gordon.
Yes, but with good reason. This is a rare opportunity for us. This is the purest sample we've seen yet.
And potentially the most unstable.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
Yes, you're right. Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in now.
Testing. Everything seems to be in order.
All right, Gordon. Your suit should keep you comfortable through all this. The specimen will be delivered to you in a few moments. If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rotors, we can bring the anti-mass spectrometer to 80% and hold it there until the carrier arrives. Gordon, are you not hearing me? Climb up and start the rotors, please.
It's easier said than done with a trackpad, and so here we go. Right, guessing I have to do something here. There we go.
Very good. We'll take it from here.
Power to stage 1 emitters in 3, 2, 1. I'm seeing predictable phase arrays. Stage 2 emitters activating now.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long the system can operate at this level, nor how long the reading will take. Please, work as quickly as you can.
Overhead capacitors to 1, all 5%. It's probably not a problem. Probably, but I'm showing a small discrepancy. Well, no, it's well within acceptable. Sustaining sequence.
I've just been informed that the sample is ready, Gordon. It should be coming up to you any moment. Look to the delivery system for your specimen.
Here we go. Is that it? Delivery system.
Standard insertion for a non-standard specimen. Go ahead, Gordon. Swap the carrier into the analysis port.
It's done that dangerous.
Gordon, get away from the shutting down. Attempted shutdown. It's not shutting down. It's not.
It's done that good, does it? Presumably, you don't want to be around here. That's not looking good. Yeah. How'd you get out then? Oh. Yes, that's not ideal. Okay, so I think we can say that Half-Life is successfully running pretty well, albeit we've just destroyed the world. But yeah, I think that's Half-Life running really, really well, looking really good on this. Yeah, let's try out some other stuff. Another great thing that this MacBook has, it has Bluetooth built in, so I have connected up an Xbox One controller. I think this is a series controller, I'm not sure. And let's see if we can play some games in a program called OpenEMU. So I've just got some N64 games here. And I just want to see if I can set the controls on this. Just make sure that it is not using the keyboard, because we think we want to. Yes, that's player 1. So input keyboard, we want to change it to the wireless. Yeah, so D-pad up and down. I think it's automatically configured everything for us. So I think that's great. It knows what the Xbox controller is. I don't know if we can do any kind of upscaling on this. Probably can, I would have thought. So let's just have a look. What we can do, gameplay, shaders, pixelate, so don't know if this has got any kind of settings for doing upscaling. Let's have a look. It may be that it doesn't. Let's see what it looks like. Let's just see if there's any other options in here. I couldn't download the cover art for some reason. Tried to do that, didn't download. Not sure why that's the case. But yeah, I can't see anything to allow upscaling at the moment. So yeah, these are all like about BIOSes and what have you. Right, anyway, well, let's just play it. I mean, we're on quite a small screen, so it's going to look pretty good on a small screen anyway. Maybe there's like some sort of out of scale 1x. I think that's fine. Yeah, so let's go to full screen mode. That should play pretty well, I would have thought, on this. Yep, so there we go. Look, it is working, no problem at all. I mean, it's not struggling at all to play on this system. Okay. Yeah, and there we go. Right, it should give us a... No, really. Yeah, probably just go for the standard one. Yep, so it is A on this by the looks of it. Yeah, and it's all running pretty well. Probably could have turned on a frame counter, but I imagine it's running like full speed. I don't think this machine is going to struggle at all with emulating this system. We'll probably have some more problems with the more powerful systems like PS2 potentially, GameCube. But yeah, running pretty well. Pretty happy with this. It's great. You can just, you can just play all your retro games on here. So this is like a portable, kind of retro powerhouse, really, isn't it? And it's cost around about £60, $75. I mean, it's just ridiculous what value you're getting for this. It's just, I mean, you could pay that much for like, I don't know, for like a day out or a takeaway these days, couldn't you? So it's just kind of crazy that you can pick up these old machines for next to no money. And it can run a broad sort of set of games, DOS games, we run like Half-Life, you get old console games. Obviously you could play PS1 and stuff on this as well. This OpenEMU emulator will handle PS1, I think, but you're probably better off downloading sort of individual apps like DuckStation, which will probably give you all the options to do upscaling and that kind of thing. I mean, it's a full-blown operating system on here, so you can always sort of play around and see what's best, really. This isn't kind of an out-of-the-box Batacera type system. This is a desktop system, laptop, where you've got to kind of set stuff up a bit more manually, but you've got a lot more sort of fine control over it. But yeah, looking pretty good. This is all running really well, and yeah, I don't feel like there's any slowdowns in this, and it's great. Basically playing your old retro games, bringing back all the memories. I had a N64, and I had Mario Kart with it when I first got it for Christmas. I must have got it like, I don't know, 97 or 98, I can't remember which year it was. But yeah, it's it's the fact that you can now play these things on such smaller devices, and God knows what, really, anything. You'd almost play this on little handheld devices now. But there's not, it's nothing quite like getting a proper controller all set up and playing on an old MacBook. Right, yeah, that worked pretty well. I'm guessing just to get out of it, I think you just basically press that to get out, and then let's see if Goldeneye will run. This is like probably one of the more difficult. No, I want to restart. That's because I tried opening it just to test it was working when I installed it. Right, okay, so cool thing is you can actually save games, save states, all that kind of stuff. Now this sort of thing will struggle to run on a kind of Android box. So any of the kind of Super Console X type devices that you see, those sort of devices, this will struggle on it. You know, N64 does not play well on those. So really kind of mini PCs and laptops and much more powerful Android handhelds can kind of do this stuff like the Odin 2, which you're spending a lot of money on. I mean, this has cost me, you know, £60. So, you know, and yet it is running brilliant. So the only thing is, will the controls be as I want them to be? I'm guessing not. I always tend to set that on. So yeah, right. So I can come out of that now. And then see. Yep, controls are working. And again, I don't think we're seeing any slowdown in this. I mean, the controls on this game were always a bit difficult to manage. They were always a bit fiddly, and really you've got to kind of play the leaked Xbox arcade version if you want the kind of more modern control style. But this is working pretty well. And usually I go and get a sniper rifle and shoot them that way, but to be honest, they're pretty easy to shoot, so I don't think we need to worry too much about shooting them this way. Yeah. These were great. Used to play this as a kid when I first got it. I got it for Christmas and had Goldeneye with it as well, and absolutely loved it. I remember my cousin didn't have Goldeneye, and yeah, he was always around my house playing Goldeneye until he got it. I think that was when we first discovered like kind of you know, pre-owned games, and I remember going into like Woolworths or somewhere, and you know, I bought like, I don't know, like Diddy Kong Racing or something for £10, and I just couldn't believe that, like, you know, because it's a cartridge, I was thinking, oh, this is identical to, you know, what you get, you know, brand new. Of course, we're all familiar now with, you know, games and having kind of like pre-owned games, but back then it would seem like an amazing thing. But yeah, this is playing great. I think you can even put this into widescreen mode as well, because the game I think supports 16:9. Shoot this guy before he pushes the alarm bell. And then where's the other guy? I think he's there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just a brilliant game, and yeah, I remember it being quite difficult to kind of complete this game. We spent a long time trying to sort of complete this. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. It took me ages to work out how to get through this gate, and basically you've got to shoot the you know, shoot the padlock off. Yeah, it seems so obvious now, but back then. Anyway, absolutely brilliant game. Right, let's try something a bit more powerful. Okay, let's see how well Sonic Adventure plays. I think I've got the controllers set up correctly. Let's see. Yeah, Xbox One controller. Xbox One S controller by the looks of it. I must have had it with my One S. Right, let's play this game and see. And I've got this set to 720p, I think. So let's see how well this performs. So I think we can go into full screen. And I've managed to get the frame counter up and running on this one. Let's see how well this actually runs. It's looking pretty crisp, even at 720p. It's looking pretty good. Don't know if the controls are working, but don't think the controls are working. No. Yeah, I don't think the controls are working on that. Yes. So let's have a look at controllers, do configure. So what do you have to do for that? Do you have to, yeah, so you've got to kind of set the buttons. I don't know whether these are the right buttons to set, but that's weird. Button N, even though it's Y. Z, I'm guessing is that button. Trigger R. Start is that. D-pad will be down, left, and then right. Can you set defaults on this? No. So you got to set, yeah. So I wonder what you can do. There's no like presets here, so you're gonna have to sort of set it all one by one, which is annoying. I don't think that'll be right. Right, okay, trigger R, I think that's what we want. Up on the D-pad is that. Down. I mean, it's not hard to do, but it's just faffy, isn't it, to do this every time. Well, to do this once even. Right, so up, and then down, left, right. I don't know what a modifier would be on this. Is that like pressing it in or something? Yeah, that. So I don't know why you would do that. Right. So the C stick. Okay, right. Okay, so down. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I just thought it would kind of automatically detect this, but it obviously doesn't. Triggers L. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, really. Yeah, don't know. Sort of think that's probably not. I'm guessing the Z button is not the trigger button. But anyway, let's see if it runs, and then, you know, we may not need that anyway. But let's try that out now. Okay, so close. View full screen again. Right, now this time I think it's going to. Yeah, is it doing something different? Hopefully. Yeah, it does feel like it's doing something, doesn't it? Yeah. Press start.
File select. Story select.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's running 100%, but let's see. Okay. I don't know, I think it might be. Don't know. Yeah, kind of a bit of a glitch at the beginning there, but it is now kind of running. I mean, obviously you could drop it back down to native resolution if it wasn't running that well, but it looks like it's caught up with itself. There's a few little glitches, but you can obviously, you know, reset it back to native resolution. I've just got it in 720p. I have absolutely no idea how to play this, by the way. I've literally played it maybe 2 or 3 times. It's just like jumping around everywhere, isn't it? Yeah, no. Presume you don't want to fall down there. Anyway, I think we can say that that's working, and I think it just needed to have like a kind of, I think it just needed to pre-compile something. A little bit of screen tearing there, but anyway, yeah, I think it's working. So I think we can safely come out of that and say that it is working. So yeah, really good. Okay, let's try PS2 out. And let's see. I think I did set that up with the right controls as well. So I think I did. Controllers. Yeah, I think so. Don't know. I do not know. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Let's just try and start the game. I don't want to mess with it until... Right, so this is just, I think, running on native resolution. So I don't think this is upscaled. Think it's running. Yeah, I felt like it's doing something then. You always get these issues when it starts up, I think. PS2 games tend to be like this. This looks like it's in German, which is not ideal. Right, that's a good point. I don't think it was meant to be German. Right, so let's come out of it. Settings. Is there like language settings? Probably is. Oh, I think I've seen this happen before on a... Right, close the game. Right, hang on. No, yeah, exit without saving. Yeah, you always get these issues, I think. Right, so tools. It may be that I'm using like German BIOS or something. I don't know now. Right, so I think the way that you do it is you do something like you start the BIOS. I think I saw this before. You start the BIOS and then you've got to go into the menu of the BIOS. Oh yeah, it's PAL as well, so it might be 50 frames a second. Yeah, exactly, see? So systems, so yeah, there's no control. Oh yeah, okay, does work. So system configuration. Zeitlung. Hang on. No, that's the date. I don't want that. I want the language really, if I can do. Here we go. Hang on, what's German for language? Sprache. Okay, right. So now, I think now the system is set to, it's crazy, but yeah, I think now the system is now set to English. So, yeah, it's a bit crazy how it works, but yeah, so I get a feeling this is the American version, so will this run? Yeah, it'd be good if you could skip all this. Probably away. Right, now I think this is looking a bit more... Right, interesting, isn't it? That if you have a German console, you can plug in... Yep, so this is pretty good. Do you want to... Yeah, format the memory. Right, so it'll create a virtual memory, I think, for you. I don't know, let's just put it 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is Midnight 3. I think it's Midnight. Is it Midnight Club 3? Yeah, I just had to restart. I did start this game, but I have to cut that bit just because I had the music on and I'm almost certain I'll get copyrighted. So I changed the settings to turn the music off and I've restarted the game. And it's running pretty well. I don't know if it's running at full speed. This is a 4th gen mobile i5, so whether it will run PS2 that great, I'm not sure. Certainly be quite a few games that run. I mean, this is running, isn't it? And I mean, this is, I think, one of the more demanding games. I can feel rumble in the controller. It's quite a nice sort of like level rumble as well. It's not too kind of. Oh, hang on. Hang on, let's see. Yeah, here we go, reverse. It's not like, it's definitely not like an overpowering rumble. It hasn't turned it right up. Some of these really turn it up quite high. But yeah, this is running quite nice. I've got new batteries in this controller as well, and so I know I've got the right batteries and everything, so it should be like, you know, the rumble should be good. But yeah, it feels quite sort of subtle and nice, and yeah, and when you hit stuff like that, you can feel it, and yeah, pretty good actually. It's running okay. I mean, I don't know if that's running 100%, but it certainly feels responsive. It doesn't feel slow or anything like that. I think some people do get a bit kind of caught up in frame rates and stuff. Sometimes, you know, if it's a little bit slower. I'm guessing that it's meant to run at this 25 frames a second, even though the game, you know, even though the console's 50, maybe it doesn't run that high. But yeah, it seems to be running really well, and yeah, it's a cool little gaming laptop, really. If you don't play sort of like, you know, AAA modern games. But yeah, pretty happy with this, and hopefully you enjoyed that video. Maybe I'll do another one, take a look at some different games. Also, you'll be able to play all your kind of like, you know, SNES, NES, you know, Genesis, all that kind of stuff is going to run fine on this. You're not going to have any issues at all with those consoles. But yeah, it certainly plays N64 well. Dreamcast looked okay. PS2, we were playing Half-Life earlier. Doom, you can play loads of DOS games on this using DOSBox. Using Boxer, which makes DOSBox quite a nice experience. But yeah, hopefully that's a useful video to you. Hopefully you think this was a good buy. You know, let me know in the comments if you think that I was right to buy one of these, because I think this is a pretty cool laptop, really. The first Retina MacBooks. So yeah, and for 60 quid, you know, $75, I don't think you can go wrong. So yeah, please leave a comment for what you think of it, and if you've got any ideas for games that it could play, systems that it could play. But yeah, hopefully that's been useful to you. If you give me a like, that would be great. If you could click on subscribe, that'd be amazing, because it really helps the channel out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.